It's Week 12 of the NFL. And here comes Ventrell Miller, who really led his defense last week with a 10-tackle game. It's the 49ers and the Seahawks under the lights on Thursday night.
We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at Lumen Field here in the Soto District of Seattle. Tonight, it's the final morsel in our Thanksgiving feast, and we've got a good one in store as it'll be the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Seattle Seahawks. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis here in Seattle. What a great Thanksgiving of football it's been so far. CD also let me have the last piece of apple pie. That was very nice. It's a rarity. All of this is a rarity. All three of our games, divisional games on this Thanksgiving CD, and it wraps up here with the Niners and the Seahawks.
And I did not let you have the last piece of apple pie. If I'd known it was there, I would have eaten it myself. So, hey, that's how it works between the two of us. I'm just...
What a nightcap this could prove to be. The Niners and the Seahawks underway here in the Thanksgiving finale. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll be led out by their quarterback, highly decorated out of Stanford, Kevin Hogan.
Brandon, I know he isn't at the status of some of the elite names in this league, but I do know he's an absolute fighter because he's heard all the criticisms. He's read the articles that say he isn't good enough to be the starter, and he absolutely does not care. All he wants to do is prove every doubter wrong and show that he belongs in this spot.
And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be second down. Well, CD, you see some of the injuries that have popped up for this franchise, and obviously hoping to get these guys back sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and these guys, they've been hearing the mantra next man up since their Friday night light games in high school. It's three simple words, but they're absolutely perfect to use, and everyone has adopted them. Next guy up, do your best.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is third down and 6. Now Hogan. And that's going to be incomplete. But man, his first throw, that nearly went the other way. Instead, it's fourth down. Here's Don Maggio now. Here's Williams to return. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Seattle's first go on offense forthcoming, and under center, of course, Russell Wilson.
And similar to his nickname, Russell Wilson has a dangerous mix of skills, the ability to throw from the pocket and extend plays and throw on the run. Not to mention an absolute winner. Usually has his team in the playoffs competing for Super Bowl opportunities.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Jahan Dotson was the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down. You look at this Niner defense. They've had their trouble stopping the run, Charles. Currently 29th in the NFL in that department.
And this group talks all the time about wanting to be better, getting stronger against the run. And to me, it all starts up front. You've got to win the line of scrimmage in order to play against the run very well.
And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. Up the middle, it's Montgomery. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. The numbers on the ground for Montgomery in last week's affair. 9 carries, 56 yards.
Well, obviously he didn't have a great deal of time between games, having to turn around on a short week and get ready for Thursday night football. But he said in pregame he was feeling pretty good and felt more recovered from last week's contest than he would have expected. Didn't seem to think this short week was going to affect him much as he chases a big performance here at prime time.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now it's Wilson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Rashad Weaver Able to get him down for a loss of 11. And it brings up 4th down.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. Back deep is Britton Covey. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Taken in at the 22. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. They are currently mired in a losing streak. Now they get the short week for the Thursday night game. Do you see that as a potential positive, or is this just more in what has been really a string of bad luck for them?
Well, to me, it comes down to leadership, and leadership's got to spin it into a positive and make it an advantage for them. Yes, we're in a losing streak. Yes, no one thinks we can win, but we have the resources we need right here in this room. Let's go ahead and play better. Let's hang together and shock the world a little bit. Put it all together, they've got a chance of coming out with the W.
Here's 3rd down and 4. Hogan now. And the Seahawks defense gets to him and they bring him down. Micah Parsons in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
On 4th down, Don Maggio out to punt. .47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. And they come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
That's Kalijah Cansey in to get him down. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. To throw is Wilson. He's airing it out for Williams. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
Pulled in at the 24. 46 yards on the boot. The coverage holds him to just 3 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. Yeah, that's just a solid, good physical run there as he motors for 9 yards. Ball on the 36 now. Here's 2nd and a yard. Now whistles here, and I think one of the big boys for the 49ers might have jumped. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. A bad false start penalty there. Now 2nd and 6. Looking to throw. Hogan. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And now it's 3rd and 3. They'll try and pick it up with Mitchell. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
as usual, the hallmark of a good run defense. Linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. On the return is Williams. A good work bringing that one back as he picks up about 16 on the return. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And, partner, I know so far, and we're still in the first half, but you love this game as a defensive guy. 0-0. We'll see if the offense can get going on this drive.
Well, you know how they talk about music to your ears? How about what it does for your eyes when you watch something like this, right, where these teams are locked in and going at it, no points going up on the scoreboard. I'm loving it. You're exactly right.
Well, switch over, though, to an offensive mindset for a moment. What do they need to do here to get on track and get some points?
Well, I think a couple of ways. Number one, you pull out something that maybe they haven't seen before. Coach is always talking about unscouted looks. Maybe you give them something that they haven't seen on tape, and now you shock them that way. The second, run your basic playbook, but run it so well that you give your skill position guys a chance to make big plays individually.
And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Wilson's throw complete here, pulled in by Howard. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Just need a yard here, 2nd and 1. Going up the gut, Montgomery. And they're knocking on the door now. There's a good run there. Going to take this to about the 10-yard line. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Now it's Wilson. And this throw incomplete. The defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, Wilson. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. The Folks kick is good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD. And it comes on the 3rd drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They struggled with a few drives so far, finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
The 49ers settling in for their next drive. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Now it's 2nd and 10. Now whistles here, and I think one of the big boys for the 49ers might have jumped. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. Up the middle, here's Mitchell. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20. It'll be a gain of 3, and it also takes us to the end of the first quarter play. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a third down coming up. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure, and he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Micah Parsons. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. Higgins goes in motion right. That's a jet sweep. Wilson with a little pop pass. T. Higgins. And finally down at the 36-yard line. That one good for 14 in the Seahawk first. Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
Charles, to move the chains that time, they had to complete it into double coverage, and they got it done.
And it's never easy overcoming multiple defenders, but he sure made it look simple. Found the right spot to exploit and won his 1-on-2 matchup.
Well, throw on first down with Wilson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
To throw again is Wilson. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down. From the gun, it's Wilson. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing fourth down.
The Folks' kick is good, and they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. Here's Mitchell now to kick off the drive. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker, was the one disrupting there defensively. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Micah Parsons able to get in there yet again. That's already 3 sacks for him here in his first half of football. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. So here are the Seahawks ready to take over on offense. They've got the lead right now in this ball game, and they got the victory last week against the Rams, so some good momentum as they come up 1st and 10. Meanwhile, Wilson's throw going into the hands of Williams. Still on his feet. And touchdown, Seattle. Jamison Williams. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Fulton connects on the extra point, and the lead now stands at 13. Fulton now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. San Francisco's offense returns to the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Throwing to start the drive. Hogan. That's complete to Tyler Johnson. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. Back to throw. Hogan. It's caught. Beckham. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. 15 more yards there and quickly another first down.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They run over center with Mitchell. And he gets it down to the 32.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. A good down to possibly take a shot, and in fact, they'll come up with an empty backfield on 2nd and inches. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But 3rd down coming up. From the gun, a give to Mitchell. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line.
When you're dead last in the NFL in 3rd down conversions, the odds are against you every time you face it. How about them picking up that one? That was big for them.
On 1st down, they go back to Mitchell. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
But if you're going to have a relay race, you're probably going to pick your backs and receivers to run it. But don't underestimate the conditioning of the offensive line. They're out there just dictating things, staying on the field, and keeping a long drive going.
Gets this one to Morris. And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 4. Looking to throw. Hogan. A throw left sideline falls incomplete. Just what Seattle was hoping for. The coverage holds, and now 4th down. Now Jake Elliott for the field goal try. From the left hash, a chip shot here. The kick by Elliott is good. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. 1 play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
The pickup there, 5 yards. The Seahawks at 4-6 now on the year. They were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
Good position to be in here, 2nd and inches. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. Here's Wilson. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. They only needed a few inches there on 2nd, but forget the halfback dive. They were going for the big one.
I thought it was a good time to take a shot. You figure with their running game, if they don't get it there, you come back and run for it and pick up the first down. Go ahead and be aggressive. Try and get run downfield for a big one.
And they're going to speed things up here. They go play action with Wilson. Hunter Henry brings it in. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks add 6 to their lead.
And what a weapon he is at the tight end spot, because when they throw him the football downfield, they count on him getting additional yardage almost every time. And that's exactly what he did there. Caught that, ran with it, all the way to the end zone.
Now Folk for the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. And now off to the races down the right side. Still going. One man to beat. And he will score. Touchdown, 49ers. Such an electric play, so much fun to watch, and you need all 11 guys in sync for that to be successful, don't you?
Without a doubt. That's teamwork, to be able to put it all together. But that play is really probably the most exciting 10 seconds in football.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. It's up, it's good. That'll make the scoreline 20-10. And what a job there by all 11 on the kick return. The blocking excellent, the return excellent. The result, 6 points. So now the other return teams out there, as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. And out now come the Seahawks. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. And we'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. That'll be Carper. And it's out. He put it on the carpet. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused, because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. There's a nice move, and they're able to get this one across the 35. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. Wilson. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Wilson's throw into the hands of Henry here. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. This will be caught inside the 10. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. And he quickly clocks it, and they're going to have a good shot at getting 3 here before the break. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And the 38-year-old vet able to split the uprights, and that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here on a Thanksgiving night as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, once again, happy Thanksgiving, everybody, as we'll run you through what's going on both today and later on this weekend. Good matchups all up and down the schedule there. We'll highlight the one in Cincinnati. A big test coming up for the Bengals as they'll have to contend with the visiting Pittsburgh Steelers. More good stuff later in the afternoon, one being down in the desert, where it'll be the Cardinals at home in Glendale, taking on the LA Rams. Finally on Monday night, Cyber Monday. Put the credit card away and settle in for Bears and Vikings from U.S. Bank Stadium. In the first half, we saw a strong performance out of the veteran quarterback, Russell Wilson. He came on after a slow start to fire 2 second-quarter touchdown passes and give his guys the lead at the intermission.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. This fielded right at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the 3rd. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
And he'll earn a couple of tough yards past the 30 to the 31. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Back to the ground, this time Montgomery.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there, just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. 2nd and 10.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
So the penalty certainly helps them out as they come up on 2nd and 5. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Open more down the field is Henry. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 21. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. And now a handoff to Charbonnet. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Now 2nd and 9. They'll try the middle with Montgomery. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And the Seahawks are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Well, he does have 1 touchdown in the game already, and while this one won't go for 6, it's enough to get him 1st and goal. But you and I both know he's going to be a little upset he didn't cross the goal line for a 2nd time in this one.
Might want the ball here on the next play. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
No receivers open, so he's forced to put that one into Puget Sound. That's a great job defensively blanketing those receivers, and ultimately a smart idea by him just to get the ball out of there.
Out left to Dotson. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal. Montgomery will take this into the end zone for a Seahawk touchdown.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
So now a 2-point conversion attempt coming for Wilson and the Seahawks. Wilson going to throw for it. And he's going to go down. Can't get rid of it. So a sack on the 2-point try. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you're trying to throw quick hitters, quick slants, you know, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the 2nd half. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
Now Hogan. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Niners 1st down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2. First down, here's Mitchell. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Hogan now. That one taken in by Dwayne Eskridge. First target, first catch, and a 1st down. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. Now whistles here. I think one of the big boys for the 49ers might have jumped. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. A give here to Mitchell. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 51 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Right back to Mitchell here. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And now you have to wonder, partner, at what point in time do they forget the running game? It's been a struggle so far in this one. I would think they'd have to start throwing it a little bit more.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
On 3rd down, Hogan. And this is taken in at the 5. And we're going to stop play here, at least momentarily. It looks like there is a 49er who's in some discomfort. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. How about this? They'll try the option, left side. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A little antsy on the left side of the line.
Yeah, I think they got the guy in the end. I think they got the DN there on that one. And let's face it, he is so amped up, wanting to get a good get off on the snap. Jump too quickly.
Here's another 2nd and goal, this time from half the distance closer. Back to throw. Hogan. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
And those two just have been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect him to have more completions to him in this game.
Mitchell will get into the end zone for a 49er touchdown. So a very important first drive of the 3rd quarter, Charles, and safe to say, a much-needed touchdown.
Which leads to the question, where was this in the first half? Because if they'd had a few more drives like that, they wouldn't be in this situation. But that is the kind of drive that sends a message to the other side. We're going to be here, and we're going to battle you to the end.
Elliott good with a PAT, and they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. Clock showing 90 seconds to go in the 3rd. To Montgomery to begin the drive. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just get back score.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Montgomery on the counter. There he goes left side. He's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 74 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. We are headed to the fourth here on Thanksgiving night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the fourth and final quarter. He's able to force his way through one man, but he can muster only about a yard on the play. Second down. From the gun, it's again to Montgomery. Had a nice move, but can't break away. Down just inside the 30. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. I think this is a free play for Wilson. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
On 3rd and 1, Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete.
Going for the knockout blow right there. I think if I'm up 2 scores, I'd be worried about an interception, but playing this way is what got him this lead. So you may as well ride it out to the end.
They'll run for it. This is Foreman. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. He needed a yard. He didn't get anything. And the 49ers are going to get the football back. And I am not sure, partner, there what the mindset was to go for it. I don't know.
And some teams just feel that possession is the key to everything. They just want to have the football in their hands. No matter how it goes to the other team, they just don't trust doing that. So they say, let's go for it and try and finish it ourselves.
Throwing to start the drive. Hogan. Johnson with a completion over the middle. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it's 2nd down.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6 at the 28-yard line.
Operating from the gun. Hogan. Here's Johnson with a reception. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First target, first catch, and a 1st down. Now whistles here, and I think one of the big boys for the 49ers might have jumped. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Looking to throw. Hogan. And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Micah Parsons make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game.
This has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Another try after the 1st down sack. Hogan. Quick throw there is incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And we'll see what he can do on the return. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
So 4th quarter, a nice run there to start this drive. Charles, what do you think the split will be here between run and pass?
Well, partner, I think it'll lean towards the run, but this is also not a time where you just totally do that. You still have to possess the ball, move the sticks, and keep the clock moving as well. So they'll run their offense, but yeah, when they have a chance to run it, they'll do that a little bit more.
Wilson now to throw on third down. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down, and comfortably so, as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
They work now on 2nd and 9. Now Wilson. Looking for Dotson, and he's got him. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 43. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. A first carry for Samaje Perine, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd down, Montgomery, who won't find a ton of space following the display of power as he's down just inside the 45. Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send him back to the drawing board.
Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it. Here's Mitchell now to kick off the drive. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Hogan. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Back to throw. Hogan. That is caught. And he is going to have a 49ers first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Hogan. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they throw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
Oh, they'll certainly be on the tablets going over that one for sure. Clearly, they were expecting something else out of the defense and couldn't adjust to make that completion happen.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have the Niners first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. Touchdown, 49ers. Christian Watson, 46 yards. And the Niners have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Well, time to let those folks know who are tuning in looking for the late local news. And we may be a moment because we've got a game again.
And partner, except for those on the West Coast where it'll be seen in its regular time, right? That's the way it works, doesn't it? But how about that? Big-time drive right there. If they're going to have any chance, they needed a touchdown there, and they went right down the field and worked their way into the end zone.
Elliott good on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. From the end zone, here comes Williams. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And with that last touchdown, I mean, we're set up for a good finish here. Some things to consider, Charles. Obviously, it's a very close game. You're in the fourth quarter. Defensively, they've got all 3 timeouts in their back pocket.
So the chess match really ramps up, doesn't it? Because in these situations, what do? Do you run the ball and kill the clock here? Or you try and bury them with another score? And how about defensively? Do you use your timeouts at earliest opportunity? Or wait till you hit the 2-minute warning? So there's a lot going into this one. Let's see how each side goes about their strategy.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter. A first down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. And now here comes the third of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes. And we've got a 1-score game. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They're facing a critical third down now as they try to hold on to this lead. That is brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. So now the Niners down by 5. 1:15 remaining. Now their losing streak in danger of continuing as they come up on first down. Back to throw. Well, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete. He was unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
And it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw. It's knocked away and incomplete. He's back to throw. And that will be incomplete.
They've got 1 chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now as to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. So that one hurt. No timeouts left. Look at where the ball is on the field, Charles. I don't know if the fat lady's singing yet, but she's starting to hum a little bit, isn't she?
You think she's doing scales at this point? I don't think there's any doubt about it, but they had to go for it. In this situation, with their timeout situation as well, they had to take the chance, try and get it done. They didn't. Now they're powerless to stop them, essentially.
They need a big play somehow from their defense. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational. So no shortage of offense in this game, but a very clean game too, Charles. Each side got its points, but they did so without committing a single turnover.
That's so true, and it certainly felt like NFL football at its finest, right? You talk about the highest level from both of these offenses. Neither one of them afraid of taking risks, and both of them aggressively pushing it downfield. I did like, Brandon, how smart they were about going about their business, though. They were high flying, but they took care of the ball.
Yeah, they did. And just keeping it clean in a game like this with all these points, you don't see that very often, even at the highest level. Job well done by both sides. So for the Seahawks, the win gets them a step closer to 500 at 5-6. And now they get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for San Francisco, the problems just get worse and worse as they fall to 2-9 now on the year. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Philly to face off with the Eagles. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.